How's the week going, retro people? My name is Brad, this is Retro Style Spotlight, and this is your news, notes, history, and retro games to play for the week of July 26th, 2016. Unfortunately, you may be noticing right now that everything has kind of changed for RSS, and things are going to change a little bit for the tutorials too. Unfortunately, I lost my entire production drive over this past weekend. So this is the July 26th episode of RSS for 2016, and I lost it this past Friday, so that was the 22nd that I lost it. The 22nd or the 23rd. The drive just didn't boot. So unfortunately, things are going to change a little bit, but hopefully you guys liked the new intro. Hopefully you guys like the new background. We're working on a couple of new things as well. Coming from me, I'm going to primarily be focusing on just doing videos from now on. So if you like the videos that I'm making, keep letting us know. Thumbs them up, subscribe to the channel, do all those things, and let us know your love in the comment section below. Last week's tutorial was all about the Scrape As feature inside of Launchbox. What this lets you do is tell your custom platform inside of Launchbox to act like another platform so that you can scrape all of the correct metadata and media. This essentially lets you add an unlimited number of custom platforms to your Launchbox library. Sonic is back, baby. Well, technically he never left, but a lot of people would rather forget the last 10 to 15 years of his games than try and pretend to remember them fondly. Well, Sonic Mania has been announced, and it's a new 2D Sonic game since forever. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 and 2 only sort of count. That was the new Sonic in a 2D game, but this is actually classic Sonic in all of his sprite art glory. The music is killer, the visuals look like a jacked up Genesis, and there are a few new features to be had here. New zones, more features, 3 playable characters, and tons of apologizing from Sega. There's even a new Sonic Generations 2 coming as well, which was one of only 3 good post-2000 Sonic games ever. So 2 new sequels and a whole hell of apologizing later, and here we are. They look great, so who would have thought that I would say that I'm excited for Sonic again? That's weird. In last week's RSS episode, I talked about the new NES Classic Mini. Well, this week, Sega is getting in on that fun, and it's portable. And it has like more than double the amount of games? What? So I have the console wars once again started up? Well, it kind of seems like it. For $65, about $5 more than the Mini NES, you get about 80 games in a portable package with a 3.2-inch screen, and the device looks to have an SD card slot on top. My theory is that either Sega is allowing you to load up your ROMs, and if not, it will probably be hackable at some point. More than likely though, however, is that it will be used for saves, save states, and even potentially ROM hacks. The Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classics re-release on Steam came with Steam Workshop integration that lets users legally upload their ROM hacks and English translations to Steam for others to download and play. So potentially, they're also working ROM hack support into this device too? If you have the ROM hack patch or patched ROM, you can load it up on the SD card slot and have your fun there? At least that's what I would hope so. There's also a console variant that comes with 2 wireless controllers and the same 80 games and a cart slot in case you have the real carts lying around. The console doesn't have an HDMI out though, and those portables buttons and D-pad look very squishy and bad. Despite that, this could still be a very awesome product if you are a Sega fan looking for some properly licensed goodness. A few weeks back, I talked about the wireless NES dongle that let you use wireless PS4 controllers or the newly designed wireless NES controllers on your real NES hardware. Well, the same 2 companies have come together again, but this time for the SNES. Now you can have wireless controllers for your real SNES. You still have the option of using a PS3 or PS4 controller with the adapter, but you can also use the SNES specifically designed wireless controller or any number of the other 8-bit DO controllers. While the controllers may look different from version to version, the adapter and controllers have the same functionality despite looking different on the outside. There are more mapped controls for things like turbo, utilization of multiple adapters for 2 or 4 player games, and even the same compatibility for tablets, phones, PCs, and even modern home consoles. If you're like me and actually prefer the Super Famicom color scheme too, there's even a special Super Famicom version of the controller, and both versions run for about $25 through PlayAsia. I actually think I'm gonna go and pick me up one of these right after I'm done reading this. This month in 1991, Final Fantasy IV was released for the Japanese market on the Super Famicom. Final Fantasy IV, also known as Final Fantasy II for its initial North American release, is an RPG developed and published by Square, now Square Enix, for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in 1991, it is the fourth main installment of the Final Fantasy series. The game's story follows Cecil, a dark knight, as he tries to prevent the sorcerer Golbez from seizing power crystals and destroying the world. He is joined on this quest by a frequently changing group of allies. Final Fantasy IV introduced innovations that became staples of Final Fantasy series and role-playing games in general. Its active time battle system was used in 5 subsequent Final Fantasy games, and unlike prior games in the series, 4 gave each character their own unchangeable character class. Final Fantasy IV has been ported to several other platforms with varying differences. An enhanced remake, also called Final Fantasy IV, with 3D graphics was released for the Nintendo DS in 2007 and 2008. The game was retitled Final Fantasy II during its initial release outside of Japan, as the original Final Fantasy II and Final Fantasy III had not been released outside of Japan at the time. However, later localizations used the original title. With its character-driven plot, use of new technologies, and critically acclaimed score by Nobuo Uematsu, Final Fantasy IV is regarded as a landmark of the series and the role-playing genre. The various incarnations of the game have sold more than 4 million copies worldwide. A sequel, Final Fantasy IV The After Years, was released for Japanese mobile phones in 2008 and worldwide via the Wii Shop channel on June 1, 2009. In 2011, both Final Fantasy IV and The After Years were released for the PSP as a part of the compilation Final Fantasy IV The Complete Collection, which also included a new game set between the two, Final Fantasy IV Interlude. Ports of the Nintendo DS remake were released for iOS in 2012, Android in 2013, and Windows in 2014. So that was Retro Style Spotlight for the week of July 26th, 2016. All the relevant links to everything you heard in this edition of RSS will be in the description below. Remember, you can sign up for a Launchbox forum account to talk with us over there. If Launchbox has given you a beautiful library of games, then why not purchase a premium license of Launchbox for $20 to access Big Box, which is a controller and couch-oriented version of Launchbox. We also have our Launchbox Games database now available for users to contribute to. If you have a few favorite games that are lacking in metadata or media, head on over to the games page on the database and make your desired edits or add the games yourself. Jason and I have a lot planned for our community, so if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, we're doing a tutorial video every Friday, live developer sessions, Q&As, and more entertainment type shows like this in the future. Let us know what you think of RSS and any feedback you may have on it. My name is Brad, and remember, Freaks and Geeks, to play more games, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.